And hello, all my fellow nerds out there. This is Orlando Richie, and welcome back once again to our Wonderland Remastered. You probably are wondering why part of the video of the last one, part of the last video is probably missing right now. Uh, it's be- it's because I actually had to edit out a part of it because I didn't know that OBS wasn't recording the end of Arc One at all until I got into editing. So So I kind of forgot to. I kind of had to remove that part from the video, the previous one that is, because it didn't record anything. It only recorded me talking, and that's it. But I'm here now. This time we actually have it on the screen. Thankfully, I did that in the second part of the first video session. And so I'm sorry if the weird transition just doesn't make sense now, because because like the arc one ended and it told me that Iggy's sprite wasn't going to be on the bottom left anymore until the arc two update. So I decided to stop recording there and and then make that transition like a few weeks later or a little while later or whatever. And then the arc two update came out and I downloaded that, and honestly, that really saved me. I didn't think I was gonna have anything interesting to play on my channel. Uh, but but anyways, we're here Arc 2's remaster version. We're going straight into Wonderland once again. The darkness swallows me. I'm falling. The wind whips my hair and shirt, summoning water to my eyes. My stomach feels like it's been sucked up straight into my bowels. On and on. Complete nothingness surrounds me, consuming me. There's a strange sense of familiarity in the darkness, too. Almost as though it's welcoming me back. I reach out, almost expecting something to grab my hand. But there's nothing. Nothing and no one. And all at once I feel incredibly alone. Iggy. I look around. Where's that coming from? I feel like it's coming from everywhere and nowhere at all. What do you want, Iggy? What do I want? What kind of question is that? What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? That's... I don't know? I think about my life. Think about my apartment in Brookside. Think about all my friends. Bucks and Hooner, Gidget and Orlum, Genzou. I clench my eyes shut tighter. My heart feels confused. Like it wants something. But it doesn't even know what I want. And somehow, that thought is so terrifying that it, that it would rather just not want it at all. I don't know. I don't know what I want. My fingers are starting to tingle. First tiny nibbles of numbness, then building into incessant zaps of electricity. Up, up, up my arms they go, growing and growing into my chest, into my stomach, shooting down my legs. So loud, and loud, so loud I can't hear and can't think. At this point, I think I can't take it anymore. My mind goes blank. Iggy. I hear my name. That voice again. The one that wraps around me like a warm blanket. Iggy. Is it morning? I don't remember going to sleep. In fact, I don't remember much at all. But I don't mind, as long as that voice keeps saying my name. My lips curl into a smile as I try to turn over and drift back into nothingness. Just 5 more minutes. For fuck's sake, Iggs, you're gonna get yourself buried in there. Eyes snap open. This isn't my bed. In fact, this isn't even my room. These certainly aren't my stuffed animals. My hundred thousands of stuffed animals. A pile of them has overtaken the entire corner of the room, almost like someone spilled a gigantic box of them in through the hole of the roof. A very, very high hole in the roof. I stare up at the same hole now, blinking in silence, until an orange cat head overtakes my view. Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Genzo. Genzo, we fell through the hole. Very good, Iggy. We did fall through the hole. Genzo yanks me up by my wrist, extracting me from the pile of animals. It takes every ounce of concentration I have not to fall straight back onto the floor. And now we're at the bottom of the hole. Wait, because that's what happens when you fall down a hole. I pat my head, my cheeks, my waist, the sides of my legs. But did we really? My gaze wanders to the rest of the room. It's somehow just like I remember it. The warm grain of the hardwood floor, the rounded windows, crackling fire of a nearby stove kettle already on the boiler, and the small table in the middle of the room, half-eaten cookies, cakes, and sweets still litter the checkered cloth. This is some grade A fucked up shit is what it is. But hey, what else is new? Am I right or am I right? The sound snaps me out of my wonderment. I turn back to Genzou, who is currently testing the stability of one of the chairs. I only realize at that moment that he's not wearing his sunglasses. Genzou, where? Except I don't finish. Because Genzou has turned to look at me. Like, at me. His dark brown eyes dilating just slightly as his focus shifts. I step back so quickly I knock my head against the cupboard behind me. Fuck, Genzou, you... I rub the back of my head with a wince. Yeah. You mean you can actually... You can... What did you want me to do? I wasn't gonna lie. I know I'm at the top of my lip. I can't stop staring. The weirdest feeling is coming up around my heart. A mixture of guilt and something else. Worry? Embarrassment? Genzou scowls and jerks his head away. What am I, a new exhibit of lover? Cut that out already. He adjusts his cap in obvious discomfort. Besides, it's not like this is permanent. Yeah, but still, you mean you're not even at all? Oh yeah, I had my obligatory teary-eyed moment, cradled you in my arms, and I wept like a fucking baby. Somebody even started playing I Can See Clearly Now. Loudly. On a recorder. Straight into my ear. But fuck that, I'm not gonna let myself get separated from reality, and I sure as hell not staying down here any longer than we need to. This is wrong, all of it. We're not supposed to be here. I finally pull my gaze away, attention returning to our quaint surroundings, and nostalgic smell of spice curling up in the inside of my nasal cavity. I bring a hand up to my hair, trying to calm the errant curls. I'm suddenly feeling very self-conscious about how I look. Can't argue with that. Somehow, I don't know. It's like looking behind the curtains. That's something we're not supposed to see. I will say though, Eggs, you turned out exactly as I always pictured you in my mind. Genzou puts his hands on his hips. This shoots my head up. Oh? How's that? Like a loser. You fucker. I jump at him before I can stop myself, hands grabbing his collar of his jacket. He laughs. Then just as quickly I'd come rushing over, he throws me down and pins me to the floor. My head rings on the impact. Damn, I haven't been able to do that in a while. When my vision stabilizes, I look up to see him staring down at me. Okay, now you just weirded me out. At least take me out to dinner first. I actually always say this line just to tease my friends every now and then. Not about to let myself lose in this battle of snark, I spit out the retort I can come up with on the spot. You know, you could at least take me to dinner first before you throwing yourself at me. He jerks his hands away as though he just touched a hot poker. Then sits back with a cough. Jokes are just as bad as always, I see, he says with a laugh. Hey, you wouldn't have me any other way. Am I right or am I right? I follow up, doing my best impersonation of him as I can. Yeah. Genzou just rubs the back of his neck, his eyes somewhat strained. He looks away, turning his attention back to the room. Honestly, I really like that. I really like this little twist of like character where Iggy's the one causing Genzou to blush. It's just hilarious and adorable. Damn, all the memories though. He pushed himself up to his feet. Remember the first time we had no idea how to get back, so we were just piled into the bed because we were so fucking exhausted? I threw a glance at the bed in question before following suit. It looks so small now. But back then, it had fit all 5 of us. Well, mostly. Pretty sure I kicked all of them off. It's true though. The more I look around, the more it comes back. Starting out as nothing more than flickering images, then like snowballs rolling themselves into full-fledged memories. The 5 of us huddled together beneath the blankets, tired and scared and unsure how we were going to get home. Only to wake up the next morning back in our own beds as though nothing had happened. And then later that day, We'd all been too scared to say a thing, just sitting there picking at our food, sound as the grave at lunch. Until Genzo had popped the question we'd all been waiting for, and it been like a floodgates had gone off. All of us laughing, recounting our adventures, excitedly planning when to go back again. The thought of it brings a smile to my face. I let my thumb trace over the round curve of the bottom of the bedpost. You think the rest of those fuckers are here then? Genzo says so softly, I'm not even sure he's talking to me at first. I turn away from the bed to find him investigating the kettle. He pokes it with his finger, then immediately pulls away with winds, bringing it to his finger to his mouth. I don't know, but somehow it feels like. But before I can finish my aimless thought, the sound of footsteps cuts me off. Heavy march like again and again, steady and methodical. I throw a glance at Genzo. Then both of us dash towards the window. We squeeze our heads inside the rounded frame, eyes seeking out the source of the sound. But even as I'm crouched there, waiting, a trickle of dread begins pooling in my bowels. Almost like I'm watching a scary movie. I know there's a scare coming. I lick my lips. Tighten my fingers on the sill, and then they come, two by two. They round the corner, crisp and methodical, spears swinging in sync. I hear Genzo's breath hitch next to me, but neither of us say a word. Somehow, it's like we're both expecting this. The rabbit in the lead comes to an abrupt halt. His ears are standing up straight. It's like lightning bolts baiting a storm. His nose twitches once, twice, three times. He spins around and the rabbits behind him jump into gawkish salutes. The dread in my gut is building. I can feel myself starting to sweat. Where is he? Where is he? I feel like I should probably give him the voice of like the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. I feel like that would be his voice. The high-pitched squawk rattles the window pane, and I bring my hands to my ears in instinct. No, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. The other rabbits seem confused. They remain quiet, simply wrenching their heads back and forth in search of some unknown entity. Sentry 218, you've overgrown rodents! This prompts an about-face from the soldiers in the battalion, who quickly spin on their heels and to face a single rabbit in the back, the only one without a partner. The rabbit in question flinches and steps back. Thud, thud, thud. Each impact of the lead rabbit's boots on the hard earth makes the walls of our small cottage shake as he storms into the back of the rank. His next words were screeched less than an inch from the lone soldier's fidgeting nose. I thought I told you to keep that book in line, sentry! Pause. He grabs the rabbit's ear, half yanking it out of his skull in order to read what looks like some sort of metal tag affixed to the mangled cartilage. 104? He lets go of the ear, and 104's head jolts back. So tell me, where is 218? I slam my back to the wall. I don't want to watch. I know what's going to happen. I don't know how I know. I somehow just know. You okay, Iggs? I'm fine. Except I don't want to say. I don't know how to explain it. This overwhelming sense of dread currently paralyzes my body. Genzou watches me for a second, not saying anything. Then returns his gaze to the window. I see him wince, twitch. But when his eyes start to bug out of his head, I quickly twist away. Hands tied around my ears, I stare at the far wall. I stare at the pattern on the bed sheets. I try to summon that mental image again, of all of us in the bed, cozy and warm. Someone's tucking us in, reading us a story, kissing our heads. In my head, I glance up to see a pair of long, droopy ears. Fuck. This draws me back to reality and the rabbits outside. I glance up just as Genzou's face goes completely white. Jesus. I wait another second. Then, are they gone? Yeah, they're leaving. I let out the breath I hadn't even realized I've been holding and slipped my way from the wall. Good call looking away, Iggs. I'm definitely going to have to see a therapist about what I saw in 4 or 5 years. What happened down here? I finally managed. Something that wasn't supposed to, that's for sure. He throws another glance out the window. We're really going out there then? I sigh, run a hand through my hair. I mean, do we really have a choice at this point? All this feels like I bring a hand wistfully. Like everything's made up and the points don't matter. I shoot into a dirty look. Hey, my life is basically an improvised tragic comedy already. How much worse can it get? I don't respond. I mean, you could die, dude. But something churning in my gut tells me it's about to get worse. A lot worse. God damn. The two of us look down at the dead body of Sentry 104. I've got one hand over my mouth and I'm trying my best not to gag. That was one hell of a nasty wallop, Genzou grimaces. A pause. A real clunker. Another pause. I mean, that really must have hurt. And another. Just look at the way his brain is squaring up between the cracks of his skull. Genzou, your commentary is not appreciated. Let's be honest, when is it ever? I ignore him and glance, instead, at our surroundings. My stomach's still turning flip-flops. There's no sign of the battalion now. They disappeared somewhere amongst the trees further down the left path. Not that the right feels any more promising. I follow my gaze as it winds around a pair of crooked trees before disappearing behind the upraised mound of meadow grass. Which way then? I'll suggest we don't follow the homicidal rabbits, but that's just me. Yeah. Both paths are still empty, and for the life of me, I can't form a clear mental image of what's down either of them. My memories are too scattered and vague. I guess they said they went down the left path, so let's go right. Well, we'll go right then. Excellent choice, mon capitaine. Mon capitaine? It's quiet as we walk. A tall cluster of fiery red corridor as we... I can't read. The tall clusters of fiery red corridor us in as the river of dirt directs us left and right like a waters in a canyon. Above us, the sky glitters a sunny orange. And on our either side, strange flowers of blues, purples, and teals dot the grass between the trees. Oh right, I forgot to ask. Genzou's hands are in his pockets. What did you wish for? I blink, frown. My thoughts go back to that voice. The feeling of emptiness as I fell through the hole. And the confusion. The uncertainty. Maybe even the teeniest twinge of fear? Fear? What am I afraid of? I shake my head to clear my thoughts. Nothing, I finally say. Nothing? I look away, forced to shrug. Guess I, couldn't think of anything. Damn, guess you really got it made, huh? I don't respond. Turn the inside of my cheek and glance over at Genzou. I still haven't gotten used to seeing him without sunglasses, walking like that, looking at me. A part of me is nervous about it. Nervous about what it could do to him, having to go back to reality after this. Nervous that he might actually want to stay here somehow. I don't know. I can't possibly feel what he's feeling right now. So I have no idea what's going on in his head. Honestly, just seeing that line, that actually gives me an idea. Carrot, you should definitely make like a sort of like a spin. It's kind of like a spin-off game, but also it's basically the same game, but where you take like Genzou's perspective. That'd be pretty interesting. Then another part of me feels happy. Being able to look into his eyes, knowing that he sees me, why would that make me happy? I don't know. What, that he sees what I look like now and didn't go running for the hills? Didn't start treating me differently? Still smiles at me? Somehow that smile, it's like the little squeeze he gave my shoulder only a day before. Warm and reassuring. Non-judgmental. We round another corner, and this time the path opens up to a small clearing. An outcropping of rocks overlooks a small pond at the other end. From its peak flows a miniature waterfall, light reflecting off the steady drizzle. I take a step towards the pond, only to gasp and step back. Wait a minute, this exact pond. I know this pond. Fuck, it's happening again. What is it, Eggs? It's just... That's when I see it. The rabbit soldier coming from another corner. Fuck. I take a step backwards, then another, then quickly twist my heels and slam straight into Genzou. For a fleeting moment, he somehow keeps his balance. Then his feet twist beneath him. He goes down. The sound of him hitting the ground sends the rabbit's ears skyward. His head jerks in our direction. Who's there? The spear is ready. Shit. Genzou scrambles back to his feet. I'm sorry, I sputter, with flustered wave of my hands. You're apologizing now with that murder rabbit breathing down our necks? He's got a point. I turn to see the rabbit staring straight at us. I swear I see the tip of his spear glint. Genzou grabs my arm and pulls me behind him. The rabbit cocks his head first left to the right, then to the right. His right eye twitches and widens. Oh, that fellow the king told us to watch out for. He chuckles, laughs, licks his lips. I'll get a promotion for sure if I bring you in. Fresh meat for weeks. No more of that slop. He readjusts his grip on his spear, then charges. Iggy, run! I hear Genzou yell a second before his hands find the shoulder and pushing me away. But even as I stumble backwards, I don't miss the rabbit making a beeline towards Genzou. He's headed straight for him, spear out front and glinting like a in the piebald light filtering in through the trees. Fuck. Uh, I'm pretty sure we have to run, don't we? If I remember correctly. Genzou seems to know what he's doing. So as much as it pains me to do so, I put my trust in him and do as he says. I go 5 flying leaps away before I glance back just in time to see Genzou narrowly avoid us being skewed by the rabbit's spear. The rabbit goes careening past him, plunging his thread of his spear into a tree instead. Thank fucking God. Just as I turn back to look where I'm going, I gracefully trip over a stone in the middle of the path and hit the dirt. Of all the... But I don't have a chance to finish my self-deprecating thought. In the next moment, Genzou is at me by the collar and yanking me back to my feet, filled with a harried huff. You choose now to be clumsy-ass motherfucker? I stumble after him, weaving a few wide curves before falling into a steep step behind him. I didn't choose the clumsy life. The clumsy life chose me, I say between my choked breaths. I see Genzou shake his head in amused disbelief. We go flying down the path away from the dense outcropping of trees and out along the slowly gurgling river. Just about to turn back to check the signs of rabbit friend when Genzou goes skidding to a halt next to me. I follow suit, eyes going 10 times the size of my head. The ground in front of us is no longer, well, ground. It's soft, lumpy, and pink, a giant slab of lobbing flesh splayed out across the path, and wide 20, 30 feet across. It's a tongue. And it's connected to the largest eyeball I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. It's round and wet and sitting at the side of the cliff as though perched atop a throne. At our approach, the oversized pupil swivels with an almost inaudible rumble to stare straight at us. What in the actual fuck? I've been about to say I don't remember that thing being here before. But my head's so jumbled at this point, I can't say for sure what I remember and what I don't. So instead, I just gulp and look up at the thing, a burgeoning sense of nausea turning my bowels into stone soup. I take back every moment of my prepubescent years where I wish I could get some tongue. Really regretting it now, aren't you, Genzou? I quickly scan our surroundings, looking first at the steep rocks to our left, then the river on our right. Just as I'm studying the intricacies of the water patterns, I feel a tug on my shirt. My head snaps down, eyes refocus themselves just as I'm taking a sight of a small creature staring up at me. I jerk backwards with a cry of surprise. What the hell is that thing? Genzou comes up behind me just as I've recovered enough to ponder the same question myself. It's small, only coming up to my knees, but the head large and puffy and oblong and red, bright red, almost like a tomato. You want something, little guy? I ask as I pop a squat. It warbles something incomprehensible, then waggles its tentacle-like arms off to the right. I turn my gaze in the direction it's pointing to a neat wooden bridge stretched across the width of the river. A bridge? My brows furrow. Wait a minute. Bridge. Why is the word bridge sticking out like a sore thumb in the deep recesses of my mind? You're trying to help us then, are you, little dude? Now it's Genzou's turn to kneel, though he has a lot less height to lose. The creature joggles its arms again with a happy warble. It certainly seems like it wants to help, though I can't shake the oddity of the bridge. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that when we were surveying our surroundings earlier. I turn to look at the hulking tongue again. There's a stagnant pool of saliva saturating the dirt in front of it. And it's and that giant gooey eye is still watching us. I clench my hands in my curls and groan. There you are. I spin around, only to see a rabbit at the end of the path, spear pointed right at us. Dude, I freaking love this music, dude. It sounds like actual fight music from an RPG. My heart promptly drops to my stomach. Fuck, Genzou takes a step backwards. Even a tiny acquaintance brings its arms out to its mouth in fear. What are we doing, eggs? I can already see the rabbit rearing up for a charge. I have to make a choice now. The bridge or the tongue? The tongue, obviously. Because if we take the bridge, we're gonna die. I know for a fact. There's something wrong about the bridge. Too wrong. And in that moment of indecision, I choose to go in my gut, as much as it pains me to do so. Damn it! I groan. To the tongue! What? Genzou squeaks, his voice rising about 2 octaves. But there's no time to explain. I grab his sleeve as he's throwing the creature a pained look, and drag him towards the heaving pink slab. We clamber on top of it just as the sound of racing footsteps fills the air behind us. Immediately, I roll forward to escape the edge of the rabbit's potential grip, flopping down atop the porous mass. Once Genzo is safe next to me, I throw a glance back to see the rabbit glaring at us angrily from the solid ground. He's not following us, I mused. Genzo jabs angrily at his chest. I wouldn't follow us. He has a point. All the more reason for us to get across this thing as quickly as possible. I push myself shakily to my feet and try to take a step. But I probably slip and fall face first into the pink pulp. This is Genzo crawling forward on all fours, his face betraying his disgust. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. He pauses, raises a finger in the air. Scratch that. Second most disgusting thing. I shakily rest on my feet, fingers sinking into the tongue's flesh. Why do I feel like I don't even want to know? I wince, follow after him. Saliva is quickly saturating the knees of my jeans. It's it's slow going. I keep my eyes trained forward as I crawl, trying not to look or think about the viscosity steeping beneath my fingernails. But we're halfway there, halfway across this vast ocean of pink. We just need to keep moving. It's at that moment that the tongue moves. It starts with a low rumble. Then its salmon-colored flesh begins to undulate, giving rise to rippling tremors that send our bodies bobbing. Genzo! I attempt to crawl towards him just as the veritable mountain of flesh rises up from the ground, taking us with it. The fuck? Genzo loses his balance and lands in a splat on his back, his hands to his head. The growing hillock takes us up, 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 higher and higher, before just as suddenly shifting gears and rolling like a wave. The upsurge of flesh ripples crest and then surges forward, taking us with it. I lose track of, of up from down, slipping and sliding across the slick surface. Ow. And only once it slows to a stop that my body slides limply down the slide of flesh. Ugh. Oh, it's so creepy. How do I notice how close we we are now to that all-seeing eye? Gizmo glides down next to me. I don't even have to look at him. I can practically hear his heart thudding away in his chest. I didn't even notice that before. The pupil actually grows a little bit. Jeez. Neither one of us makes a sound as we were warbling as the warbling pupil of the eye dilates and focuses and stares straight through us. I see tiny twitches of movement, just ever so slight, jumping back and forth between us. They make the soft, wet surface of the eye tremble and jump. Quiet. Moisture dribbles down my forehead and cheeks and past my collar to tickle my spine. My hand, my hand moves before I can stop it. I slap at atop Genzo's, seeking out safety and seeking out that feeling that I could possibly calm the panic rising up the back of my throat. I catch Genzo shooting me a look of unsure bewilderment as my fingers dig into his knuckles. But before either of us can do anything, a sudden shadow overtakes us. I hate that. A slab of wet flesh engulfs both of us at the same time. Ugh, I hate the sounds. It's just ugh. Like they fit, but like my goodness, ugh. It presses into our necks, chests, and faces, squirming and wriggling, and I wrench my head to the side with a gasp to keep from suffocating. Massive globules of sticky saliva drip down onto my head, cling to my curls, and drip over my eyes. It oozes and crawls up and down my skin, grinding it into my hair, slurping in my ear, my chin, my collarbone. The panic rising up again, clawing in my chest. I can't breathe, can't see. It's in my hair, eyes pressing against my mouth. My hand is so tight around Genzo's now. I can feel it shaking. That's when Genzo's hand moves. It twists away out of my grip, and for a moment my heart freezes with cold dread. It then twists back, repositioning itself into the sticky sliminess of the saliva so I can take my hand properly, fingers intertwining with my own. The dread melts away. The panic twisting in my shoulders into knots uncoils itself. I'm breathing properly again. Even though this mucus like muck, even though the wriggling leech sucking at my cheeks and forehead, I can only focus on his hand. Ugh, that's... Finally, the tongue pulls away, leaving me look like I've been frisked by a slug. I peer over the blurry lenses of my glasses at Genzo, who looks similarly depredated. If I never had to experience that again, it'll be too soon. But no sooner is as Genzo's smart retort left his mouth than the giant water pupil of our captor moves. It whirs backwards, pulling a full circle before returning to its previous position. Only this time, it's sporting thousands and thousands of tiny lines. One of the eyes pops open, revealing another smaller eye, followed by another and another, popping open by the hundreds, countless dots of white atop the shuddering surface. Then the biggest land of them all, that one that bisects the entire eye, splits wide open with a giant roar. I've always wanted it to be appetizing, but not like this! Genzo screams as the creature shrieks again. Behind us, the tip of the tongue has uncurled itself, and now the entire tongue is rising, tilting, forming one monstrous slide of doom that ends straight into the nightmare's mouth. I scramble in emotion. But the higher the tongue tilts, the further I slip. It's all I can do to keep from tobogganing straight down the ever-widening jaw. Iggy! So I panic, I see Genzou brandishing what appears to be a screwdriver. Never leave the workshop without it. Genzou is this really time for... But before I can finish my question, he slams the sharp metal end into the quivering flesh of the tongue. The reaction is immediate. The beast howls so loud it feels as though my heart's twisted into vertical nothingness. Then the tongue jerks, flails, writhes in pain. Grab onto me! I don't have to be told twice. Well, deja vu all over again. I launch myself at Genzou and latch onto his waist. Never before have I held onto something so tight. I dig my face into his belly, my hot breath against the swath of exposed skin. Focus on Genzou. Focus on Genzou. I close my eyes and clinging as tightly as I can and trying to block everything else out. Everything but the feeling of warmth beneath my arms and against my cheek. Above me, Genzou was clutching desperately at the handle of the screwdriver, jaw taut and muscles tight. Another roar from below. Down below, it's getting really angry now. The tongue bucks and thrashes, but somehow I keep my grip on Genzou. Somehow Genzou keeps his grip on the screwdriver. The roar morphs into a wail. It's at the moment I feel something on my leg. It cinches around my ankle with a snap, jerking me down a few good inches from Genzou's waist. I let out a squawk of surprise and tighten my grip. It's another tongue. It's what this one is long and thin, but still very much porous and pink. And it's curled itself so tight around my leg that it's cutting off the circulation in my foot. This hasn't happened before. Happened before? How could it have happened before? I shake my head, I shake my leg, but its grip remains strong as I give another tug. Even as I squeeze my arms around Genzou, I can feel myself slip around an inch downward. Genzou! I see him readjust his grip on the screwdriver, his fingers shaking. Another tug, harder this time. I slip around Genzou's knees by this point. If it keeps up, it could pull both of us down. Unless... Oh, crap. I think I remember distinctly trying to kick it off is what got me killed before. I'm pretty sure kicking it off is what killed me before when I played the original version. I'm sorry, Genzou. There's no way I'm making it out of this. But I can still save Genzou. He can make it out of this. Find Bucks. Figure out what's going on. Fix all of this. But me? I've never been able to do anything. I let myself slip another few inches down Genzou's leg, my grip loosening. I'm the one that started all this anyway. I was the one that had us open the door. I'm the one that let things get this bad between us. I squeeze my eyes shut. Another tug of my leg pulls me down to Genzou's feet. I use myself as a distraction. Make the thing devote all its attention to me. Then Genzou could definitely be able to get away. I bite down on my leg and suck in my breath. One more tug, then a hand on my shoulder jolts me back to reality. I should have gazed skyward towards see Genzou down at me. I see his fingers clenched to the fabric of my shirt. Don't you fucking dare! I blink my eyes wide. Don't you give me that look. I know what you were thinking. But Genzou, we are getting out of this together. The crackle of his voice stops me in my tracks. And this time, when the tongue yanks down to my ankle, I squeeze myself around Genzou's calves, jaws clenched. Genzou's hand shoots back the screwdriver to keep us from flying off. He grunts, looks from the screwdriver to the tongue to me. Then finally, can you reach my pocket? Not sure if I want to try taking my hand off again. I can try. I wince and begin trying to pull myself back up. The eye must not like this because the tongue around my ankle gives its strongest tug yet, yanking me all the way down to Genzou's shoes. Shit, shit, shit. Genzo eyes nearly bug out of their sockets. Just hold on, okay? He grits his teeth and I see him take a deep breath before grabbing on his pocket. His hand comes back holding a lighter. How about a little tongue flambe? He says with a grin far too amused for our current situation. One flick, two flicks, he gets the flame dancing, then holds up against where the point of the screwdriver is piercing the pink flesh. It takes about 5 seconds for the eye to react. There's a roar from beneath us. Then the grip of the ankle on my ankle finally loosens, pulls away as the larger tongue beneath us bucks and bobs. Another roar of pain this time. I can practically see the surface of the tongue writhing and curling away from the flame. Just when I wonder how much longer I can stand it, the muscles beneath us grow suddenly taut. In one whip-like movement, the tongue reels back and then chucks us forwards. Genzou and I go flying like rocks in a slingshot. The first few feet over the ground, then slamming to the dirt, rolling 5, 10, 20 feet. Before finally and unceremoniously slapping on the pebble-strewn path like a pair of wet fish. Wind puddles of saliva turn the ground dark beneath us. My head's still spinning, not even sure if I'm still conscious at first. I open up first one eye, then the next. Then with a groan that's half agony, half disgust, I push myself up with my palms. Thick, clammy strings of goo stretch between my skin and the puddle below. Genzou rolls over, his cheeks painted with glossy jewel. Hey, Eggs. If I ever ask how much worse could it get again, please just stab me. Stab me right in my face, he says before hacking a gallon of saliva onto the ground. I rub my face until it's raw. I feel disgusting, dirty, like I'll never be clean again. Like I got eye saliva seeping into the crevices I don't even know I had. We're in the shoals of the river, up to our knees in water and rinsing our hair, our clothes, our mouths. Genzou's taking off his jacket and is kneading atop his knee like a washboard. His hair sticks up in errant wet tufts that shudder with each jerk of his shoulders. I watch him for a few seconds. If we weren't in horrific Wonderland, currently fighting for our lives just to survive, the sight might have almost been picturesque. Like the two of us were on a trip together, hiking or camping or something. The thought of Genzou trying to pitch a tent just nearly summons a laugh from my lungs. Yeah, just the two of us. That'd be nice. Alright. I think this is actually a good time to leave this video here for now. We'll continue Arc 2 in the next video, but this is already getting really wild, and I know it pretty much is similar to what happened in Arc 1, but I'm pretty sure the gimmick is already clicked by now to you guys. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do.